Don Lewis may be retired, but you won't find this guy sitting at home. And his idea of getting out of the house doesn't involve routine trips to the post office or grocery store. For him, it's heading to the beach during the most violent of weather conditions.
We're out here when the winds are whistling at about 30 miles an hour. The surf is pounding at 8 to 10 feet. Usually the rain or ice or snow is spitting out of the sky. And if you add on to that nighttime out here, where you're going to be running into these groins, these rock walls, with a high tide splashing up, it gets to be a very dangerous place.
Lewis is part of a team of sea turtle rescuers in search of Kemp's Ridleys. The turtles are born in Mexico, and they get swept north with the Gulf Stream. When the weather turns cold in the fall, they start heading back south in search of warmer waters. The ones that summer north of Cape Cod have a critical decision to make once they make it down to Provincetown.
Some of them take the left turn and get out into the Atlantic, and they keep heading south and they make it back to the tropics. But another group, they take the right turn, they head into Cape Cod Bay, and at the time it seems like such a smart move because the bay is shallower. That means it's warmer. There's a lot of stuff to eat, and life is good through August and even into September. But by the time the bay starts chilling down and cues them to migrate south, if they try to get back into the Atlantic, the water there has already gotten too cold for them to exist.
That wall of cold water in the open ocean traps the turtles in the bay. All it takes is a good storm with high winds to drive the turtles on shore, where they'll sit, battered and stunned. That's where volunteers like Lewis come in. He says while it's totally natural for sea turtles to wash ashore and die, the dwindling population can't survive if those turtles aren't saved.
In the 20th century, we humans began to have a rather disastrous effect on the sea turtle population. They're just been really savaged by modernity. Our shrimp trawlers were not only pulling up shrimp, but they were dragging the Kemp's Ridleys, drowning them in the nets. Their nesting beaches were being developed, their eggs were being poached, and they were on the verge of extinction.
The sea turtle population is slowly on the rise. Since Kemp's Ridleys are now protected, more hatchlings are making it off the beaches of Mexico and heading north each year. Once the turtles are rescued from Cape Cod beaches, they're rehabbed back to health and set free again in warmer waters off the southern coast. This year is turning out to be a record year for sea turtle strandings. It's not completely clear why there are so many this year, but Lewis suggests it could actually be a good sign. It could indicate there's a healthy rise in the population as a whole. And he says he doesn't mind the extra work.
This is something very tactile, and that is you see a turtle, you rescue that turtle, and you know that you were involved in saving that turtle's life. That's quite rewarding. It's quite rewarding.
Lewis says the work could mean a late-night vigil out on the beach. One of his recent rescues started at 2 a.m. For the Cape and Island Science Journal, I'm Tracy Hampton.